He hadn't eaten in 6 hours. He hadn't moved in 6 hours. He hadn't taken his eyes off the newborn in 6 hours. They thought it was the most beautiful thing they had ever seen. Sonny was a 7-year-old golden retriever, amber gold. The kind of dog whose personality had calcified into something so reliably warm that the word reliable no longer felt adequate. He ate his meals at the same times every day. He moved through the house on known routes. He communicated his needs with a precision that, over 7 years, Mara and Dev Krishnaswamy had learned to read the way you learn a second language in a household where it is the only one spoken. They had brought River home on a Tuesday, 5 days old, 7 pounds, 2 ounces, dark hair, the particular closed fist posture of a newborn who has not yet decided how to be outside the body that made him. Mara had carried him through the front door in the car seat, while Dev held Sonny by the collar, the formal introduction that every dog book and their pediatrician had recommended. Sonny had done nothing alarming. He had lowered his head to the level of the car seat and been still for a long moment, nose working. And then he had stepped back and sat down with the specific composure of an animal that has processed new information and is deciding what it means. That first night, he slept against the nursery door. Neither Mara nor Dev found this surprising. The second night, same position. The third night, the same. Day 5 was when it changed. Mara came downstairs at 7 a.m. to find Sonny in the living room beside the infant bouncer, where River had been sleeping for the last 2 hours. Not in the doorway, beside it, both front legs extended, chin on the floor, nose pointed at the bouncer seat, eyes open, watching. She refilled his bowl. He did not go to it. She offered him his leash. He did not stand. She sat beside him on the floor and looked at River. The baby was asleep, breathing. Color looked normal to her eyes. She checked the temperature in the room, 70 degrees. She ran her pediatric triage checklist through her head. She was a midwife, 9 years, the specific professional category that knows more about newborns than most people, but is also the specific professional category most likely to be too close to their own child to run the protocol correctly. River looked fine. Sonny had not left him in 3 hours and would not move for food. She called Dev down. He looked at Sonny. He looked at River. He said, "Maybe he's just bonded." At noon, Sonny still had not moved. At 2 p.m., he had not eaten. At 3 p.m., River woke and cried, and Sonny raised his head and positioned his nose 6 inches from the baby's face, reading, then set his chin back on the floor and continued watching. Dev called their pediatrician at 3:30. Dr. Patricia Osai, their pediatrician, 5 years, she asked about River's feeding, output, sleep. Normal for day 5. She asked about the whites of his eyes. Mara picked River up and looked. Clear, she said. She looked at his skin in the afternoon light coming through the window. She tipped him toward the light. She said, "His skin looks a little yellow. I didn't notice before, in this light." Dr. Osei said, "Bring him in." The bilirubin level at 4:15 p.m. was 18.4 milligrams per deciliter. Normal ceiling for a 5-day-old is approximately 17.5, depending on risk factors. River's level was above the phototherapy threshold. He was admitted directly. Dr. Osei spoke to them in the hallway. Neonatal jaundice at this level is very treatable, she said. The bilirubin binds to brain tissue at high levels. That's the risk we're managing. Caught at this point, the outcome is completely favorable. She paused. "What made you call when you did?" Dev and Mara looked at each other. "The dog," Mara said. Dr. Osei did not look surprised. She said, "Bilirubin produces measurable chemical compounds in skin secretion and exhaled breath. At elevated levels in a neonate, the concentration changes are significant enough that we have documented cases of dogs alerting to jaundice before visual yellowing is clearly visible." She looked at her clipboard. Your dog's 6-hour vigil corresponds almost exactly to the point at which River's levels would have reached clinical significance. If you stay for stories about what animals sense before we do, you're in the right place. Subscribe, so you don't miss the next one. River spent 38 hours under phototherapy lights. He wore small padded eye shields. He slept through most of it. His bilirubin dropped to 9.2 before they were discharged. Mara got home at 11 p.m. on the second night. Sonny was at the door. She sat on the kitchen floor with him for a long time without saying anything. Then she said, "You knew on hour 1, didn't you? You didn't move because you already knew." He put his head in her lap and exhaled slowly. "Has your dog ever shown unusual, sustained attention to a newborn or infant in a way that didn't feel like play or curiosity?" Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. River is 14 months now. Sunny, who is now 8, maintains a relationship with the boy that operates on a specific frequency the rest of the household doesn't fully have access to. River's first crawl was towards Sunny. His first pull to standing was on Sunny's flank. His first audible word was not mama or dada. It was the sound he makes when he sees the dog come into a room. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who never asked for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. The next story involves a dog who spent 9 nights sitting outside a room the family had declared safe. The room was not safe. Nobody knew it until the dog refused to stop. Sunny lay on the floor beside River's playmat in the afternoon light, chin resting on the warm wood, eyes tracking the boy as he reached for a yellow block. Missed it. Reached again. The afternoon was quiet. The house was warm. Nobody in it was in danger. Sunny knew this because he had checked.